ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शंकरं लोकशंकरं शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणचक्षुश्रोत्रमतो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् निराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम केनेषितं पतति प्रेषितं मनः तेन प्राण प्रथम प्रैति युक्तः केनेषितां वाचमिमां वदन्ति चक्षुश्रोत्रं कौ देवो युनक्ति श्रोत्रस्य श्रोत्रं मनसो मनो यत् वाचं तौ प्राणस्य प्राणः चक्षुषश्चक्षुः अतिमुच्य धीराः अस्मात् लोकात् प्रेत्यास्मात् लोकात् अमृता भवन्ति न तत्र चक्षुर्गच्छति न वाग्गच्छति नो मनो न विद्मः न विजानीमो यथैदनुशिष्यात् अन्यदेव तद्विदितात् अतो अविदितात् अधि इति शुश्रुमपूर्वेषाम् येन तद्वया च चक्षिरे याच चक्षिरे ई पूर्व आ पूर्व चचक्षिरे is the word. तत्र कुत्र ब्रह्मणि वाक् न गच्छति can Vak go anywhere when that Brahman, that Atma, we are trying to find through Vak, is the Atma of every Vak. Every word, every sight, every seeing, every object, the eyes themselves. It is the very Atma, that which makes them operate as they do. You can't go to yourself. Chakshuhu na gacchati. Sight cannot go. Sight can go to every object in this world, which has form and color. How are you going to use the same chakshu to understand that which is the very essence of every sight, every object of sight, and sight itself? Every color is that Atma. Cannot say Atma is blue. You can't say blue is Atma. It's correct. You can also say green is Atma. Every other shade of color is Atma. These days, when you get some painting done, they will give you hundreds of shades of every color. My blue. All of them are nothing but Atma. So how can you say yellow is Atma? Yes, you can. Yellow is Atma. The problem is when you say yellow is Atma, we exclude the greens and the blues and the browns and everything else. Actually, they're also Atma. Atma is none of them. So if you want to say all colors are Atma, all forms are Atma. Square is Atma, circle is Atma, sphere is Atma, cube is Atma. If you want to say all of them, how are you going to mix all of them and say that is Atma? One lump. How are you going to mix every color and say it is Atma? Without excluding anything at all. Our normal tendency is to say this is this means we exclude everything else. I am a human being. I tacitly exclude all other jivas, species of jivas. I'm not a mosquito, nor am I a whale. Simply by saying, I am human. That's how the mind works. Atma is every color, every form, and no color and no form. Because Atma is none of them. So how can you say that my eyes will go there? There is no possibility. We use words to describe every object, whether it's a tangible object or an intangible object. The words, but every word in every language, known and unknown, is nothing but Atma. Every word only points out a Nama Rupa. All these nama rupa depend on the atma for the existence. The satta comes from the existence, from the atma. I can certainly say Katrika is atma. Atma is not Katrika. If you have to say all the words are atma, there's only one way of saying it. Om includes everything. The whole range of sounds in any language covered by Om. Therefore, Om is another word used for the same Atma. If you otherwise put all words together, I don't know what kind of sound you will get. I don't think you'll get the sound Om. Maybe you will. I don't think anybody experimented with taking every word in every dictionary, known and unknown. Somebody has sent a video saying that when they recorded the sound emitting from the sun, it sounded like Om. Om. I don't know how much of value I should put on that kind of a video. Interesting anyway. Om is everything. That's why I use Om for everything. For hello, for thank you, for bye-bye. Everything is Om. So some people start calling me Om Swami. It is everything. And that is Atma, the self. Every thought reaches out and envelopes an object. And it is the fastest thing known. In the blink of an eye, the thought can go to the moon. And that thought envelopes an object. How is the thought going to envelop Atma, the very vastu that activates manas? So you put all thoughts together of every being in this Jagat. Put them all together. All of them together is only one Atma. It's not very difficult to understand because we have the wonderful example of Swapna Prapancham. Every thought, every sight, every sound, every touch, every taste, every smell, every action in the Swapna Prapancham is nothing but the Jna, knowledge of the dreamer. So we have a very good example. Otherwise, normally, to exemplify something, you need to have something similar. Like we said yesterday, we can describe the size of the Tirupati Laddu by saying it's like a baseball. Only it's yellow in color. But you should know yellow, you should know baseball. The person who's never seen a baseball won't know what it is. It's not a smooth surface. So you can give an approximation through the Drishtanta. But when you're talking about the reality of the Atma and using words which belong to the Jagat, how can you use that to describe Atma? How can the pot describe clay? It is clay. It is the self. So, chakshu nagachati, vak nagachati, chakshu involves all the other senses. Vak nagachati, no manaha. Makes it sound as if it is impossible to know Atma. Because that's all I am. The physical body, the jnanendriyas, the prana, the karmendriyas is all that I have. If none of these have access to understand I, how do I find I? Whether we like it or not, whether we know it or not, every human being is searching for that infinite. Unfortunately, we're using the wrong tools. Infinity is not a number. It belongs to a category all of its own. There is no second infinity. You cannot create a set of infinity. And knowingly, unknowingly, we are all the time searching for that infinity. And not knowing any better, every human being is searching with the wrong tools in the wrong place. Like the story of a person searching under a street lamp for something. When asked what is he searching for, he said, I lost my ring. So many other people came to search along with him. Till suddenly one person said, where did you see it last? He said, in my kutia. Then why are you searching here? Because there's no light there. I'm searching here because there's light only here. That's all we have. Searching in the wrong place with the wrong tools. You cannot gain access to Atma, to yourself, to that Purnatvam. Because Chakshu and other Indriyas do not have access. Words do not have access. Thoughts and feelings do not have access. The seeker is the sought. So he says, none of these can get you any knowledge, any information about that which is Chakshusha Chakshuhu. Shrotrasya Shrotram. Manaso Manoyat. Vachoha Vacham. Shastra recognizes that that is what we are doing all the time. And says, don't search under the street lamp, you're not going to find it. Don't use the only tool that you know. because these are not the tools that are available. Shastra itself says, na vidmaha. We don't know. Viddhatu. We don't know. We don't know the Atma. As an object, we don't know the Atma. We cannot know the Atma. Atma is not neither an object nor objectifiable. And all these tools we're talking about are only good enough for knowing an object. Now, vidmaha. What sounds like a great confession. We don't know. We don't know the Atma as an object. We cannot know Atma as an object. It is not an object. It is a seeker. Also says, na vijanimaha. One, he says, we don't know Atma as an object. Na vidmaha. Again says, na vijanimaha. Na vijanimaha what? How to teach. How do you teach something which is not accessible to the senses, which is not an object, which cannot be objectified, except by saying, Shrotrasya Shrotram, Chakshusha Chakshuhu, Manaso Mano Yat, Vachoha Vacham. It is the only way. That looks like a paradoxical statement. So one has to do a lot of contemplative thinking. We take the Shastra as a pramana. We have Shraddha in the Shastra. And Shastra says this is what it is. There is no other way of teaching. Na vidmaha, na vijanimaha. Very clearly he says, how are you going to know this? Yat yetad anushishyat. This, how to teach, how to make you know Atma, we don't know, other than what we've already told you. Shrotrasya Shrotram Chakshus Chakshuhu. Na vidmaha, na vijanimaha yatedad anushishyat. Why? Yes. Anyat eva tad viditat. Tad Atma anyad eva viditat. That which is known, viditat, it is different from. Ataha aviditat adhi. It is also not unknown. If you say it is different from known, our normal conclusion will be, it must therefore be unknown. Now look at this. It is neither known nor unknown. Every element, every object in creation is either known or unknown. What is creation? The karya. Every karya, in fact, is known by somebody, somehow, somewhere. Every karya is known. The whole creation has knowability. And at one stroke, it says, Anyadeva tat viditat. The entire creation, viditat anyat, all the karya has been bundled into one set. It is different from that. Then should I say it is karanam? It is not karya, which includes everything in this jagat. Then it must be, if it's different from that, it must be unknown. Maybe the karanam. That also he eliminates by saying aviditat adhi. Adhi here also means anyat. It is neither karya nor karanam. All this while we've been studying that Jagat Karanam, Brahma is Ishvara. Saguna Brahma Ishvara. It is neither Karanam nor Karyam. Our idea of a Karanam is that which transforms itself into something else. Like milk transforming into curd. There is no transformation. Like the rope is the Karanam for the snake. Rope doesn't undergo any change. So in that sense, it is not even a Karanam. It remains what it is. It is neither known nor unknown. Known covers everything which is perceptible. It is near, accessible to the senses. That's how it's known. It is not near nor far. How can you use adjectives like near and far to you? Near and far to what? It is neither near nor far. We have seen that also in Kenopanishad. Neither big nor small, neither near nor far, neither karya nor karanam, neither known nor unknown. There can only be one thing which will satisfy both conditions. It has to be you. If both conditions have to be satisfied, that which is shrotrasya shrotram manaso manoyat and all the others has to be I. Because everything else is either known or unknown. Everything else can be described, can be shown through an example, can be inferred. How are you going to do with the seeker himself, the I. It is neither direct perception nor indirect perception. It is I. I am searching for something which is right there. I am searching for it all the time. It is neither pratyaksha nor paroksha, neither directly accessible to the senses, nor far away, not accessible to the senses. Spatially, also it is independent. It is not near nor far. Time-wise, it is independent. It is neither known now or knowable later. Will be known later. Vastu-wise, it is independent. Any object, tangible or intangible, it is not. Because anything that you say is limited by time or space or object, immediately put boundaries on it. And we are looking for that atma which is Purna. So no boundaries can work. Viditad anyat aviditad adhi. What can satisfy this condition? I know something today. Some new technology is going to come up tomorrow. But it will be known. In time, I can know everything. By space also, I can know everything. I have never seen anybody surfing because I live in a landlocked city. Never been out of the city. But it's knowable, space-wise. I just need to go to the beaches in Australia. They will also teach you if you go there. What is surfboard? Or skiing. I live in a hot country. I don't know what skiing is. But I can go elsewhere and see them, learn about it. Even if I don't go, by words I can know. By example I can know. How can I know I? Viditat anyat aviditat adhi. It is not accessible. It is not known. Cannot be categorized as known, nor can it be categorized as unknown. What can be known is all the namarupa, all objects can be known. And we will know, like I said, Shankaracharya says, by kvachit, kinchit, kasyinchit. Somebody, somewhere, somehow will know. Because it is knowable. So that which is not knowable is also being negated. Acharya says, aviditat adhi, vidita viparitat, avyakrita avidya lakshanat, vyakrita bijat api adhi, different from. It is unique. Only the seeker, the subject, can be both viditam and aviditam at the same time. Yeah? In the Bhashyam, Shankaracharya quotes a lot of texts from other Upanishads. I am Atma Brahma. Ya Atma Pahatapatma. Yat Sakshat Aparokshat Brahma. This word Aparoksha is because it is neither Paroksha, far away, nor Pratyaksha, accessible to senses. You have to find a new word for it. Normally, if you're putting an A, you find the opposite. Paroksha, so if you write Aparoksha, it means Paroksha is far away. Aparoksha normally should mean near. That also is not there. You cannot say near to the very basis from which you're measuring. How can you say near? It is the center. This, which is neither known nor unknown as a category, how do you teach? Kena prakarena. How to do Upadesha? By an Acharya like me, says the Acharya here, to a Shishya like you. If I had some handle to latch on to, I can teach you. Any method other than saying Shrotasya Shrotram Manaso Manoyati will have a defect, will be faulty. Because there is no handle. There is no jati, there is no kriya, there is no guna, there is no sambandha. And like we discussed yesterday, no bheda. No vijatiya bheda, no svajatiya bheda, no svagata bheda, partless. So how are you going to teach us? Therefore, Shastra uses words like chakshush chakshuhu, srotasya srotram, manaso manoyat, vachoha vacham. How did you know, Swami Ji? You were sitting there as a teacher and teaching all the students. How do you know? So he says, this has to be known only one way. Iti shrushruma. What iti what? It is neither known nor unknown. This we heard. And that it is Shrotrasya Shrotram Manaso Manaha. All that we have heard, Shushruma. From who? Purvesham. From the Acharyas of the past. Yaha Naha Tad Vyachachakshire. Chachakshire, they revealed, they taught. Achachakshire. But by adding a V prefix, they taught till we understood. They showed us totally, completely, till we understood. This jnanam is a pramana vishayam. It has to be learned only through Shastra, as explained by the Guru. You cannot learn by tarka, by logic. Acharya says, Natu tarkataha pravachana medha bahushruta tapaha yajnadibhyasya. You cannot learn by anything. We have seen this also in other Upanishads. You cannot say, I am smart. I have a great IQ. I know the language inside out. I've studied all the grammar. And I'm very logical, very analytical. Cannot get this. This is the problem with some of the great scholars, particularly Western scholars. They treat it like an object. And the Upanishad makes it very clear that it is not an object, cannot be an object. Any object is knowable, therefore limited. You can use tarka to negate wrong notions. You can use tarka to see how the physical body cannot be I. The mind cannot be I. But how are you going to use the same logic to know what is I? Except to say, Chakshusas chakshu, srotasya srotam. Shastra anukula tarka. Iti shushuma. Thus we have heard. Purvesham. Acharyanam vachanam. Naha. We, to us, vyacha chakshire. We acha chakshire. Till we clearly understood. Just as one line. We've seen each line has very definite meaning. Chakshuhu nagachati, vak nagachati. Clearly eliminates a lot of things. Also says, na vidmaha, we don't know it as an object because it's not possible to know it as an object. Nor do we know of any other method of teaching. Because this is neither something that can be classified as knowable, known or unknown. And how do you know? Only through the sampradaya. So much importance given to the parampara of teaching. It is not just what is taught, but how it is taught. What is the prakarana? What is the methodology that is used? It is a parampara starting from Sadashiva. Sadashiva Samarambham, we've said that many times. Vyasa Shankara Madhyamam, Asmadacharya Paryantam. If I'm studying today, it ends with my Guru, whoever is studying. But there's a whole lineage behind them. All of them have learned from their Guru. Because this is not something which can be learnt otherwise. So there's a lot of emphasis on Sampradaya. We saw in the Mundaka Upanishad, the very beginning talks about Sampradaya, the lineage. how Brahmaji sought his son and so on. There's a lot of emphasis in the Upanishad saying you cannot hope to learn it any other way. Also, not only that, it also says, Vyacha Chakshire, if one has the commitment and one has the Shraddha, one just had to keep at it. It becomes the responsibility of the Guru. Urvesham Vyacha Chakshire. Till you understand. If somebody can understand simply by being told, Tattvamasi, he doesn't have to do anything else. But one doesn't understand, one continues with the same Shraddha, with the same commitment, till it becomes clear. Till every doubt is removed using Shastra Anukula Tarka. The adhikari, the student who is well prepared, will get to know. This is a commitment we've seen in other places also. Bhagavad Gita also says that. Because it is I, and because it is neither known nor unknown, the teacher can only teach by saying, Chakshusas chakshuhu sotasya shrutam manaso manoyat vachoha vacham. He will, having said there's no other way of teaching, he's going to continue. But the entire gist of the Upanishad is just as one mantra. Along with, read with the previous mantra, the answer to that question. All that we have in terms of senses, they're only instruments, including the mind. The eyes see because something behind the eye impels it to see. That something behind the eye that impels it to see, eye is that only. Eye cannot exist independently. Nor can the object of sight exist independently. That is also eye. Same with thoughts. Eneshitam patati preshitam manaha. Who makes the mind land on whatever it lands? Who is behind it? That I, the subject, cannot be described in any other way because there is no jati, there is no guna, there is no kriya, there is no sambandha. All objects on one side, that means the entire jagat, which do not have an existence on their own, therefore they are mithya. And I, the only existent thing, which lends existence to everything else, is Satyam, the only Satyam. That Satyam He is Chaitanyam. He is Anantam. So these words are not descriptions. They are what is called Lakshyartha. And that I is what we are searching for. I seek that Purnatvam, impelled by the instinctive feeling that I'm limited and I don't want to be limited. And my being limited comes from the limitation that belong not to I, limitation that belong to various other upadhi. Therefore, he said in the previous verse, that a person who recognizes this asmat lokad atimuchya, giving up this loka, this identification with the body, mind, sense, that assemblage, which will anyway fall apart. Such a person, amritatvam ashnute, gains that freedom which is seeking. Only that knowledge which helps release this mistaken notion that we carry despite all our logical understanding of what Shastra says. One keeps at it till it becomes clear. Therefore, he says the Guru Vyacha Chakshire. You're understanding that these instruments, the physical body, which is the housing, the various senses, which are instruments, they cannot themselves light up anything. They cannot themselves reveal anything. They need, for their very existence, for their very functioning, I, the Atman. Nana chidra gato tirastita maha deepa prabha bhaswaram. Imagine a pot with holes in it, with one lamp inside. They are throwing out light in different directions depending upon where the holes are. And they reveal many objects in the world. These senses are like that. Something behind is impelling them. If that were not there, these holes cannot reveal anything. Nana chidra gato darastita maha deepa prabha bhaswaram. They're shining because of this. All the holes in the pot look bright. They're revealing other things outside. Jnanam yasyatu chakshuradi karanat dvara bhahispandate. All these chakshuradi karana are like holes. They show the light. They bring knowledge, jnanam. Jnanam yasya chakshuradi karanam dvara bhahispandate. And say what? Janami. I know. Janami what? Who can know if there be any Janami without the lamp inside? We Antarjyoti Bahirjyoti Jyoti Jyoti. That Jyoti which seems to come out of those holes, the Chakruladi, there is Jyotish Jyoti. Tameva Bhantam Anubhati Sarvam. That Jyoti Jyoti Bhati, everything is Anubhati. What is that Jyoti? Tasmai Sri Gurumurtaye Namaidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye. The Prathama Guru, from whom all the learning has come, the method of learning has come. There is no beginning to that. You cannot say, oh, Rig Veda was 5,000 years old or 10,000 years old. Beginningless. In that one mantra with 4 lines, the entire Upanishad is covered. He could very well have stopped there. The Upanishad could have stopped there saying, now we know. But the Upanishad didn't. The Guru knows, despite all the logic, we still have to understand. Like Krishna did with Arjuna in the Gita. He could have stopped in the 2nd chapter. He didn't. He went on to say, I have taught you everything in the 18th chapter. Now you do what you want. And then went on again to talk about it. That is Vyacha Chakshire. They teach till we understand. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.